Buying your first home can be a very exciting journey, but let's be real, right? It can also be overwhelming if you don't know what to watch out for. So go grab your coffee and a pen and a paper because you want to be informed and you want to avoid these mistakes as a first time home buyer. Hey, welcome back to the channel. If you're new to me here, my name is Yashika Turner and I'm a real estate agent here in Hamilton, Ontario. I'm all about helping you to thrive financially and to make informed decisions on your real estate goals, right? Now, in today's video, I'm going to share with you some super important mistakes you should avoid if you're a first-time home buyer who is trying to enter this real estate market, right? So stay tuned and stick around to the end because these tips will prevent you from making some of these mistakes as a first-time home buyer. Number one mistakes first-time home buyer make is not knowing how much they can afford. Now, before you start even looking at houses and start getting excited into this real estate journey, I would advise for you to get a mortgage agent and get pre-approved. And if you're looking for a mortgage agent, I will put my calendar link below so you can book a discovery call with my team because I have several different mortgage agents that I can refer you to. Getting a pre-approval will help you on your real estate journey. It will help you to stay within your budget and preventing that extra stress for you to go and look at houses. You like the houses, and then when you go to get the finances in order, you realize that you cannot afford this house. Now, get your ducks in a row. First things first, know how much you can afford, right? And the other mistake is maxing out how much you are qualified for. So oftentimes when our mortgage agents or lenders or bank financial institution assesses your finances and they will give you a mortgage pre-approval, that doesn't mean that you have to max out that amount that you're pre-qualified for. Try to go a little bit below because you don't want to go house poor. So say, for example, you're qualified for $1 million, right? So you don't have to go on top of the budget. If you see something for 850 something, 870 something, or even 900, go ahead with that one rather than the one that's going to be listed for 999 or 980 or in that field, right? Got it? Let me know in the comments if you got it. Got it. Type got it in the comments. Now, the second mistake that I see a lot of first-time home buyers make is to forget about the hidden costs. Now, let me tell you, buying a house comes with a lot of different additional costs, right? From the down payment to closing costs, inspection fees, moving fees. And if you're currently renting right now, you have to remember that you have to have some money saved up for emergency that can pop up that comes with home ownership, right? So consider your utilities, consider your, furnace, hydro, consider insurance, property taxes, and all these different things that comes as an additional cost to home ownership. Now, this is just a rule of thumb. Save up at least 1.5 to 4% of the cost of the house for closing costs. So this will cover all your legal fees that comes up with the closing costs. Yes, as a first-time home buyer, you can expect to pay anywhere between 5 to 20% for the down payment of this house, right? So in addition to having that 5 to 20%, you will need an additional, say, 1.5 to 4% of the cost of the house for closing costs and all the other fees that I mentioned previously. Another mistake that I see a lot of first-time home buyers make is skipping the home inspection. Now, I know, especially when the market is hot and it can be a competitive market, right? And you just want to go in with the least conditions, right? And this would be like thinking that you should skip the inspection, but my advice is to go ahead with the inspection because you don't want after closing, after you've, finalized that deal and you skip the inspection and you realize that there are some hidden some hidden problem within the house that you didn't see, your realtor didn't see. Now, this comes with a high cost for repair for this, whatever this problem could be plumbing, electrical, the furnace, the heat, the roof, whatever it is that the professional inspector would have seen from his assessment, from his inspection. And oftentimes, sometimes with the home inspection, this is a time to negotiate the price that the house is listed for. If something pops up that will cost you, right? So say, for example, the roof, the door, the AC, the plumbing system, this is a time for your real estate agent to negotiate to say if they're going to fix it or if they're going to knock off some money from the listed price for the house. This is an important step that you don't want to miss. So avoid unexpected hidden fees and costs after closing. Another mistake that I see a lot of first-time home buyers make is waiting and waiting and waiting for the interest rate to drop. We know that we want the lowest interest rate, but do you know what happens when we wait and wait for that interest rate to drop? Everybody else is waiting on the sideline to enter the market when the interest rate drops. And do you know what happened when the interest rate drops and everybody enter the market all at once? There comes a lot of competition. There comes the bidding wars. There comes more mental stress because of the disappointment. You go and you look and you find the perfect house that you like, and then you realize that there are 10 different offers and you're outbid because you waited for this time. Now, I'm going to put myself in this position. I can remember when I bought the first house, it was this same thing. It was in the seller's market where there was a high competition rate and there was a lot of bidding wars. I remember, I think I looked at around 5 different houses, submitted the offers for at least 5 different houses before I was accepted for the house that I got eventually. And you know what? That wasn't even the one that I really wanted, right? So I advise you to marry the house and date the rate. What you mean by that? You shop in a time when you can afford to shop. If you have the money saved up for your deposit, your closing costs, and all the other fees, then you buy the house that you like. You can shop around because there is limited competition. You can pick, choose, and refuse, right? And you have that interest rate. Later on, when the interest rate drops or changes with the interest rate, you can always go and refinance to change the interest rate, right? So you're marrying the house and you're dating the interest rate. Now, this was what we did the second time around when we bought our second house, right? We bought when it was buyer's market. And when it's buyer's market, you as the buyer have the upper hand. You can pick and choose because there are several listings out there. So you don't have to be rushing to put an offer in. You don't have to second guess if you're going to put a condition in for inspection or put a condition in for financing. You're going to put all the conditions that you want to put in, right? Because you don't have to be rushing around. So my advice, don't just wait for the interest rate to drop, because be prepared that when you wait, there will be competition and more mental stress and more disappointment. This was based on my personal experience as a first-time buyer back then myself. And the next mistake that I see a lot of first-time home buyers make is not to think about real estate investing as a first-time home buyer. And I myself made this very mistake also. You know, I did a lot of things right when I was purchasing my first house. And I think I always fall for some of these mistakes also. Although I was talking to the right persons, I had a mentor, I was advised, to purchase a property that I can house hack. I will be doing a video about house hacking. If you're interested in that video, now would be a good time to go and subscribe, right? And I didn't listen to that advice, right? So my advice to a first-time buyer is to think investing, think real estate investing. How can you use this current property that you will buy as a stepping stone to start your real estate investing portfolio? Whether you're going to house hack, and I'm not going to dive into this house hacking because I'll do that in another video, right? Whether you're going to house hack or whether you're going to use this house to leverage an investment property, right? So think long-term and think investment property. If you want further information about real estate, you're looking for a realtor in the Hamilton, Ontario area, feel free to book a call with me. I will link my calendar link in the comments below or in the description, so you can go and book your free consultation as a buyer or seller. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end, and please avoid all these mistakes as a first-time home buyer. Bye for now.